So, as you heard from Paul and rest of the team, right, the goal of Ara platform is to reduce the barriers for entry. Earlier today, we walked you through some of the key tools that are available on the platform. I'll just give you a quick recap. MDK specification documentation that lists the requirements needed to ensure compatibility with Ara architecture. Secondly, the module reference designs, as the team mentioned. We have developed multiple reference designs for you to get jump started with the design effort. And thirdly, the developer boards that emulate the switching functionality and the networking switching functionality of an Ara and a skeleton to help in the development and prototyping of the Ara modules. Together with these tools, right, they help reduce the time scales for prototyping and development of the modules. Many hardware developers are taking advantage of these tools. And what we see in the market already in development is really impressive. The variety of modules is, I'm truly impressed. I wish I had more space on the screen and I could put more images. Along with the known functions that make up a smartphone, modules for many new functions and use cases are being developed. Some of these comprise of functions including media, communications, security, wellness, safety, retail, etc. Some of which do not exist in present smartphones. I think that's the beauty of Ara platform. It enables new features and functionality and use cases. Later today, in the lightning round, before lunch and after the lunch, some of the developers will share their experiences and concepts of developing their modules on the Ara platform. While there is excitement among the hardware developers for the Ara platform, we acknowledge that there is concern about the market risks. I think this is true with any new platform, right? There is an inherent chicken and egg problem. This is true for Ara too. Ara is a new platform. The question that everybody is struggling is, who comes first? Is it the module developers who are developing the modules, or is it the module users, the consumers who are using the modules? Should the module developers wait for the entire consumers to be available to use the modules? Or should the module developers get started before the market is fully developed? What is the rate of market adoption? I think these are the very fundamental questions of any business case, right? We acknowledge that these have implications for the business risk for the developers. We try to address this problem with the 100K challenge, that we had at the first DevCon. Let me give a recap of the challenge, right? The goal of the 100K challenge was to incentivize new entrants into the Ara developer ecosystem, promote diversity of module concepts, and provide systematic means for distributing the developer hardware. And the press challenge had a selection criteria requiring that modules be usable. They have to be they should have use cases for everyday use, offer functionality that did not exist previously with the mainstream smartphones. Modules were, we said we'll evaluate based on the novelty of the idea, and also it was required that the developers demonstrate a functioning module. We received over 75 applications. And of course, there were more developers than the applications. And out of the 75, right, I think over 1/3 of the applicants met the criteria of daily usability. And many ideas were very novel. As you might have noticed in the earlier slide, I showed some of the pictures, right? Some of the functions did not exist previously in the existing smartphones. But due to the delays in developer hardware, none of the developers could demonstrate a functioning module. Hence, what we're doing, we are extending the challenge. Hooray! Who can apply? Along with the previously applied applications, we invite new applicants who plan to develop modules on the Spiral 2 hardware, which Seth and the team has just demonstrated. And just to recap, right, as we mentioned earlier, we'll start shipping the hardware by end of this month. Please apply ASAP. The selection criteria for the challenge will remain same as previously communicated. At the 100K, those details are also on the website. I would recommend, I would suggest, please keep note of some key dates. March 1st is the deadline to apply for the prize challenge. And we request that you submit a video of a functional module by April 15th. After which, upon which we will follow up with you on how to submit a working module to us. And the goal is actually we plan to announce a final winner before May 1st. Challenge is good. Is 100K the price challenge? Is that enough? Since kicking off the challenge, right? We realized that one size does not fit all. As Paul and everyone is saying, right? We've been trying to listen, get feedback from you. Try to understand your concerns and try to understand what makes up a Ara module developer, right? Are all module developers, what we notice, are not the same. The developers come from various backgrounds. Some are end-user system manufacturers, while others are component manufacturers that make up those systems. Some are familiar with the mobile landscape and the technology behind it, while others are more familiar with the use cases of those applications. And they also come from a variety of business models. Some are familiar with consumer-facing business model, while others are familiar more with selling to established firms. Even the scale of the developers is varying. They're all the way from really large firms who are interested in developing modules, all the way to bootstrap startups, who are interested in developing modules. And that's the beauty of our ecosystem. We want to invite everyone. And of course, all the modules are not the same. So given such diversity, having just one incentive scheme did not meet every developer's expectations. Hence, we taken a lot of feedback, in our conversations, and we did some brainstorming. Hence, we thought, we should have additional incentive options, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. First, let me talk about the volume assurances that Paul alluded to earlier in the day. We plan to have some limited volume assurances. These volume assurances will be available for 1 or 2, at most 2 developers per module category. If you're interested in this option, please approach us ASAP. While apart from limited volume assurances, right? We also plan to have co-development agreements. But if you think about it, right, Ara being an open ecosystem, the whole co-development, it defeats the purpose of open platform concept. So it's really not desirable, but it has to have some exceptional cases. So it's extremely undesirable, but we are willing to sit and speak with you. Please, reach out. And thirdly, we can provide assistance in procurement of Ara-specific bill of materials. As you might have noticed, right, the hardware team was explaining you, there are a lot of components which are specific to Ara, like, for example, the bridge ASICs or the hypercore materials, etc. We can either leverage our existing relationships, or we can guide you through how to reduce your time of procuring parts, or we can sit and talk how we can help you. That's our goal, is to help you, right? So, and also before I talk about retail partnerships, right? And let me share an interesting encounter that I had at CES. Last week at CES, I was there for a couple of days, completely exhausted. I covered only 1/10 of the whole event, but still I was completely exhausted. And as I was walking, I saw a travel accessory company, and then I realized, my neck is paining. Maybe let me go and just grab maybe let me buy a memory foam pillow from them. Nobody sells things at CES. I wish they did. I started a conversation. I showed the Ara phone to them, ID, and they were truly ecstatic. And suddenly, like when I started showing, the executive from the retail company, he came to me. He was explaining one of the problems that they're trying to solve for his customers. They have a lot of international travelers, and the biggest problem for them is roaming charges. And he was explaining in how many different ways an Ara platform could help, and how awesome solution that could be. But being a retail-only company, they are less familiar with the technology. And his request back to me was, can you introduce us to your module developers? Can I partner with you guys? How do I get started with that? I think those are the, some of those partnerships we could enable. And it's just, this is one instance. There are many other similar encounters we had, and similar other retail partners are approaching us. We are also proactively reaching out to some of the retail channels. If you're a company that is not familiar with, business to direct consumer, or who are only component manufacturer and are interested in participating in Ara platform, please reach out. We will try to help you out there too. And that was an awesome encounter, right? And the best thing was they gave me a free memory foam pillow. That was a beautiful thing. Who gives free stuff nowadays? And that a memory foam pillow. And to be eligible for these incentives, we asked that the modules under development should meet the test and certification criteria that is part of the MDK. And also, we request the developers to commit to volume readiness by launch timeline. I would recommend start with downloading the MDK documentation. It's on our website. Apply for the developer boards. The request form for the Spiral 2 board will go live by tomorrow. If interested, apply for the 100K challenge. And other incentives, please visit projectara.com and reach out to us at ara-dev@google.com if interested in discussing more about incentives. Thank you.